Yes, it has been a very long time since we did a podcast episode. Some things are changing around here, and today's episode is going to look a lot different than the episodes that you've seen in the past on Reseller Recovery. I've restructured things on this podcast in order to bring it back to you and in order to serve the reseller community better. Coming up in today's episode, we are going to be doing a little bit of a recap of what the heck has happened in 2024 in terms of the reseller community. An AI that takes your items and puts them on a model for your cover photos. And an item that is on everyone's radar. All that and more coming up on Reseller Recovery. Welcome to the Reseller Recovery podcast, where I invite you to reflect on your week, discuss all things business, and talk about what is selling right now. So I will be doing a 2024 business recap and also some plans that I have for my business in 2025 soon. But today I just wanted to talk about the reseller community in general and what all has happened over 2024. Sometimes I think it's nice to reflect on everything that has happened so that we can understand where things are going. And when I think back at 2024, the number one thing that seems to be the biggest topic in the reseller community is all of the platform fee changes. If you guys aren't on every single platform, you might not have heard that many platforms have been shaking up their fees. Platforms like Mercari and Depop both switched to 0% selling fees for the sellers. And then I think it was Mercari that decided they're actually switching back. Poshmark tried to do a similar thing where they changed the fees to be split between both the sellers and the buyers. And just I think it was a week and a half later, decided that no, they were actually getting too much backlash and they were going to revert back to their 20% fees. So what does this mean for the reseller community? In my mind, it means that things are a little unstable with the platforms. Not to scare anybody, but it really has taught me to never be too sure on one platform and to be ready for anything. When it comes to platform fees, things can really mess with your numbers. If you're used to having 20% fees and then it drops down to 10%, that's obviously going to be for your benefit. But if they do it in the opposite way, it can really shake things up in your business. So I have learned over 2024 to keep a really keen eye on what is going on with all of these platforms, even if I'm not actually on that platform. So for instance, right now I'm not on Mercari, but I do think that it is important to know what's going on every platform in case I decide I want to pivot my business over there. All of the shaking up of the platform fees had me really nervous in 2024. Some of the changes I thought were great. Some of them I thought were not in my best interest. But as usual, here at Well-Traveled Clothiers, we did roll with the punches. And honestly, that's really all any of us can do. But it did teach me that I need to keep a close eye on news about these platforms. And if you guys didn't know, even platforms like eBay are testing out different fee structures in other countries. So it may be soon that they're going to make changes here in the US as well. We cannot be too sure and relying on different platform fees because it may change here in a week or two. I'm personally going to be keeping a very keen eye on that. Also, what I noticed in 2024, just kind of the way reselling is going, is AI has been incorporated into pretty much everything. And I guess I can't say it's just the reselling world. It is really everywhere. And similarly to the platform fees, you just have to roll with the punches. Last year, all the live selling stuff came out. This year, it was all about AI. You've probably noticed on pretty much every platform you're selling on that you can now upload pictures and use their AI to either fill in some portion of the listing, whether it is the title, the description, and also using AI to background remove. And I've noticed not just on the platforms, but also the cross-posting tools as well. List Perfectly actually came out with their AI in 2024, and it was the Express Lister, and that thing was really cool. Out of all of the listing AI on any different platform, definitely List Perfectly shines above all of them in my opinion. Let's actually take a look at some of the AI that were being offered and compare it amongst platforms. Okay, so you can see on my listing here that we already have done. We have these Hoka One One women's sneakers. Here is my title and our pictures. Here is what our description looks like. This is my own template that we built. But let's say we want to let AI make the description for us. Here is the snippet that it gives. I do like that it is saying things like cushionable insole, breathable mesh upper, rubber outsole. I don't hate what it's doing, but I just don't think that this is necessary information that isn't already in the listing itself. Is this going to make a difference with my buyer? I don't think my buyer is going to read the paragraph that is created, but I do like some of the additional keywords that they use. However, I think it's missing a ton of things like what we had in our description, like condition, shipping, seeing photos for measurements, and my own style profile keywords. I don't think that eBay's AI is enough, in my opinion, to get the right buyer to the item, and also once the buyer is there, to confirm all of their suspicions about condition and other things. Similarly, we are on the Poshmark app. I'm going to go to Smart List, and let's go ahead. It looks like it did pick the category, although it did select the incorrect category because these are actually women's shoes. I wonder if we can go ahead and change this. Yep, let's change this to women's shoes, sneakers. Done. And then let's go ahead and have it generate a title and description for us now that we have changed the category. It looks like Poshmark really focused on the contrast of color. Again, I personally don't think that this is going to help get the right buyer and make our listing stand out. And the title is really, really lacking on this one. Lastly, I'm trying out List Perfectly's version of AI. We're going to create it from the images. Our images are uploaded and we still have the shell of a draft. We are going to hit Listing Assistant. Once we have everything uploaded, it's going to ask us what kind of tone we want. Slightly funny, very funny, teller, concise, just the facts. I'm going to go with concise on this one and see how it does. Okay, and we can see that it did pull a ton of information. However, even this one did get it incorrect, but I will say out of all of the listing details for these shoes, I prefer the listing title and the description it is offering, even if it is in the wrong gender category. So as you guys can see, none of them are perfect, and I'm honestly not sure that they ever will be, because there is always the human element that helps with sales and marketing of these products. But I've got to say that the List Perfectly one has actually blown my mind. It is very accurate on most items. I actually know a lot of resellers who are just using List Perfectly's AI to list, so they're not doing anything except uploading their photos, getting the listing assistant to do the title, the description for them, and then they are pushing it out to platforms, and they've actually been able to make sales from it. I'm a little bit more meticulous. Even if I were using that, would, want to, edit down whatever it did, but it's pretty amazing that technology has come this far. Let me know down in the comments what you think about all of these AI tools. Have you used them on any of the platforms that you list on? I am still an old school girl, and I tend to like to just do our own listings, but there is one AI website that I learned about recently that I've been playing around with that is a pretty amazing concept, and I wanted to share it with you guys in today's video. And that is the website, I think it's pronounced Botica. And basically what they do is you can upload your pictures of your clothing and they will AI generate it onto a model. I'm not going to do a full tutorial of how this works because I don't have a paid subscription yet. I've just used some of their free credits, but let me show you what images it has created for me. All right, guys, so I uploaded a few of our photos. I was playing around this morning with some of the free credits, 4 credits left, so I'm definitely going to have to make a decision on whether I want to continue using this or not. But I just thought the concept was so cool, especially for a lot of the whimsy goth dresses and items that we're getting, because I think a lot of things are way better displayed on a model or on a mannequin. Here is the only photo that I provided it with, which was ours on a hanger, and as you can see, it provided a model photo, and it is pretty accurate as to what it would actually look like on someone. There are a couple things that I don't like, and I don't know if I'd be able to change it with the paid version yet. One of them being their shoes, like they're all wearing white sneakers. I haven't found a way to change that. You can change the background and your model, but not their shoes. A couple issues with the asymmetric hem here. It kind of guessed that it was asymmetric instead of this shark bite look. So that is a small discrepancy. This one was really great. I uploaded this photo and it generated this for me. I also generated one with just this whimsy goth top. It asked me if I wanted to upload my own bottom for the model or pick one of theirs. I picked one of theirs, and this is what it produced for me. I think it is such a cool concept. I'm not going to be using this for everything, but I thought it was a really cool concept that I wanted to share with you guys. There's a couple of websites doing this now. Like I said, AI, it's just the way of the future. I see tons more AI upgrades for everything we do in 2025. Let me know down in the comments below if that is your first time seeing a tool like this. My mind was blown when I saw it, and I think that it is really cool. And then the third thing that I would say kind of summed up 2024 in the reseller world was just learning how quickly things change. It seems like it speeds up every single year, but this year in particular, I really noticed how quickly trends, BOLOs, even sizes change. Things that I was looking for on a monthly basis now became a weekly basis, or even sometimes day to day. What I did research on last week might not be something I can rely on this week. In 2024, I learned that I have to keep up with the research all the time. It is not something I can slack on, because if I do, I'm going to be picking up bad buys. That's why I'm really thankful that we've developed the community in Resellers Edge, where everyone's helping each other amongst the 4 coaches. We're all touching different sectors of styles, brands, and doing constant research and collectively sharing that with each other and everyone in our group. It has kind of taken the burden off of me of having to do it all by myself. So I am really thankful for the community that we have built over there. A lot of it I am still doing by myself. If you guys are solo and you don't have a community yet that helps you look those things up, then you definitely have to stay on top of everything. My favorite tools to look up trends is still the eBay solds. That's like the most tangible thing I know I can rely on all the time. I've also additionally added on things like Google Trends, or looking at articles, or checking to see what the platforms are promoting. There are many different ways to look into where the direction of reselling is heading and what styles to be on the lookout for. Speaking of BOLOs, in each Reseller Recovery podcast episode, I did want to share a BOLO with you, whether that is a brand, a style, or maybe even a particular feature or material to be on the lookout for. In today's episode, I am going to be sharing with you a particular item that has exploded, not only in the reselling community, but also just new with tags out at stores. I see everybody wearing them, and the data is also showing that it's something that we need to be picking up, and that is barn coats. All right, you guys, so here on eBay, we have it filtered to just pre-owned. I've just typed in barcode. We're not even filtered to any specific category or gender, just 20,000 pre-owned available. Let's go to the solds, 8,800 sold. Now, I know that's not a 100% sell-through rate. However, almost 9,000 in the last 90 days sold on eBay is insane. And it's definitely something that you want to look for, because you have a very high likelihood of selling it just because of how many are moving each month. That's like 3,000 per month that are moving. So pretty much any barn coat style you come across, regardless if it is a well-known name brand or not, is going to significantly increase the sell-through rate and the value for you. Now, does that mean you should pick up every single barn coat? No. Consider your cost of goods, how much you'll sell it for, and also check the sell-through rate of the brand itself. But in general, it's a pretty good pickup right now. In fact, LL Bean barn coats on eBay have over a 100% sell-through rate right now. And it's showing on Google Trends as being the highest search it has ever been within the last 5 years. If you are lucky enough to come across a barn jacket, you're also going to want to pair it with the keyword canvas. Now, Not every barn coat is canvas, but majority of the time when you're picking it up, traditionally the external material of the garment is going to be canvas. So what is canvas? According to Google, canvas is a sturdy plain weave fabric, typically made from cotton or linen, and it's known for its durability and heavy-duty nature. Makes sense, right? For the barn coats, you're out there doing chores outdoor, so it makes sense that it would be heavy duty. It does feel very compact. If you're someone who doesn't really know what canvas feels like, these descriptive words help to describe it until you can actually get to what the material looks like. But here is it up close and another one for you. Well, guys, that is it for today's episode. Let me know down in the comments where you stand with all the changes in 2024. What do you think 2025 is going to look like for resellers? I have my own thoughts, but let me know yours. Be on the lookout for barn coats in many different brands, not just the ones that pop into your mind immediately, but even brands that you wouldn't normally pick up, give those a look up. And if you guys like this podcast episode, make sure to subscribe so you can see when the next one goes live. Also, if you'd like even more of the type of info that you're getting in this video, then consider checking out Reseller's Edge. Myself and 3 other coaches are ready to help you take your business to the next level. Link is down below in the description. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you in the next one. Let me know if you like this new structure.